If you have somehow made your way 7 books into the Dresden Files and you made it all the way to Deadbeat and you happen to stop, what are you doing? You must continue to book number 8. This is Proven Guilty by Jim Butcher. Again, Dresden Files book number 8, and you gotta read it. Let's keep this video spoiler free. Maybe you've only read the first couple of Dresden Files books and you stopped, but please let me encourage you heavily. You have to continue with the series. It's so good. Jim Butcher and his writing, oh my gosh, how addictive. I don't know how he made this series so addictive, but there's no turning back. I am committed for the long run. I have all the rest of the books already, except for Ghost Story. I don't know why. I still need to buy that one. I couldn't find it anywhere at any of the used bookstores, but I will find it. Okay, look, this book series has me so addicted. I somehow acquired a Bob, okay? Had to have him. I just had to. After 8 books of the series, I'm like, what am I doing? I gotta have my own Bob. I just gotta. Okay, so here he is. He's gonna sit right here. He's on top of my current read, which is White Knight, book number 9 of the Dresden Files. Okay, so when I give you this synopsis, again, I'm going to be very, very vague, but Harry Dresden, professional wizard out of Chicago, he has more problems. There is a war going on between the wizards and the Red Vampire Court. Okay, you're probably aware of that from the previous books, maybe. Anyways, there's a war going on. It's not going so good. So that is problem number 1. Problem number 2 is we have a returning character who you have met already. She has appeared briefly in previous books. She's somebody very important. She's a daughter of a very, very good friend of Harry's. She's in some trouble because her boyfriend is the number 1 suspect in what appears to be a supernatural attack at a convention center where horror film enthusiasts are gathering because it's a horror film convention. So there's some supernatural activity going on there. It's not good. The boyfriend of this character that I mentioned is the number 1 suspect. So Harry's got to clear his name or figure out what the heck is going on there. I'm going to stop there because I promised to give this to you in a spoiler-free format. So let me stop there and let me just say, this book is 5 stars. Shocking, right? If you've seen any of my other reviews of the Dresden Files, they're all just 5 stars, okay? They're just so well written. They're so captivating. I love the back-to-back action. The dialogue. Jim Butcher writes dialogue so well. Honestly, I don't know how he does it because there's a lot of conversations that are going on in this book and I'm so intrigued. There is drama, there's political intrigue, there's funny dialogue. Oh my gosh, hardly anyone can do it better. Let me say this, I'm really bad at finishing series. I will usually get maybe 2 or 3 books into a long series and I'm like, all right, I feel fatigued. I'm tired of it. Let's just move on. The beautiful thing about this series is it just doesn't seem to get old. I've been reading these pretty back to back. And now Jim Butcher, he does a phenomenal job of reminding readers of what certain things appear to look like. Or okay. So for example, we know what McAnally's looks like, but Jim Butcher, every time he mentions this little pub, he has to talk about the low ceilings and the whirling fans and how there's 13 tables and we have a bar where our famous friend bartender / cook, his name is Mac. He has to explain how Mac appears every single time he mentions him. And I would think as a reader that would become annoying. It's really not because it's so comforting. I'm like, I know Mac. Mac's my friend. Anyways, he doesn't need to re-explain Mac to me, but Jim Butcher does need to re-explain the characters to readers who have taken long breaks in between reading these books. If you actually read these books when they were first published, okay, he did write them pretty quickly, but it's like 1 a year, maybe 2 a year. But for most readers, you may have long periods of time where maybe you read a couple books and then you take a year-long break and then you come back. You're going to need reminders because you're not going to remember what Mac looks like. You're not going to remember that he's bald. You may or may not remember Bob and his eye color. They're orange flames, by the way. Anyways, all I'm trying to say is the writing is phenomenal. I think Jim Butcher has a wonderful balance of giving us enough to remind us, what do these characters look like? What does this place look like? Like, I know what Harry's apartment looks like, his basement apartment. I know what his lab looks like. It's been explained to me every single time in every book. And instead of being annoying, it's just kind of comforting to me. If you're one of those readers who's annoyed by that, sorry, but it is necessary for the majority of readers who are not reading them back to back to back. Maybe you read them in publication order, or maybe you just took years of breaks in between. So you never know. You do need those reminders. I think Jim Butcher did a really good job. How does Proven Guilty compare to the rest of the books? This one was my favorite. Okay, so I've always been told by the fans who respond and comment on my TikTok page, they say, oh yeah, the next book in the series is going to be your favorite. And you'll always say that the newest one's the best, and then it just keeps getting better and better. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. I would say for sure, Proven Guilty has been my absolute favorite of the books so far. After that, my second favorite, it goes to Blood Rights. Blood Rights gave me so much to be excited about. It gave me characters that I hold very dear to my heart. Blood Rights was really, really fun. So I just love that one. Then I would say Death Masks. Death Masks was really fun for me. When I read book number 5, I'm like, ooh, okay, this is my new favorite, until I started reading more of the books. Then I would gotta say Deadbeat. Okay, look, fans, argue with me all you want. I know many of you will say that Deadbeat is your favorite. Fine, great, fantastic. I totally see why, because the last 100 pages of this book was my favorite of the entire. Does that make any sense? Overall, my favorite is Proven Guilty so far. But as far as my favorite ending, it goes to Deadbeat. The last 100 pages were so fun. The action was just so incredibly addictive that I couldn't stop. I was reading it well past midnight. And I'm tired a lot. Like, there are a lot of nights I don't make it past 9 o'clock. So that was really fun for me. I stayed up late reading it because I had to know. I'm like, how do we wrap this thing up? This is so thrilling, and it was so fun. So after that, though, I gotta say, I really loved Grave Peril, because that was when the series kind of really exploded. The world just kind of blew up. It expanded so much. There's more going on. And I think that's really when the series hits its stride. Not to take anything away from the first two, Stormfront and Full Moon, because those two were fantastic. And I stand by that. I do not care. Any readers or fans who are like, oh, the first two are garbage. No. Respectfully, no. They are so good. I actually read these first two books twice because I had to. I read these first two books years ago, and then I took a break. I kind of got distracted and I forgot about Dresden Files. Well, years later, I came back and I was like, I want to read the Dresden Files. But I had to start over from book 1 because I didn't really remember a lot of things that happened. So I started over. Each time I read these two books, I gave it 5 stars. So I loved them both times. Okay, so then I would have to say my next favorites are definitely Stormfront, followed by Full Moon. Love those books. And then, yes, disagree with me all you want, my least favorite so far was Summer Night. You know what? It's not a bad book. Summer Night's a 5-star book. Fine. It was just simply my least favorite of the entire series. You know what? Okay, maybe there's something about the Fae realm, because there's a lot going on with the Fae, and then just the imbalance of power between the courts and stuff, to where, I don't know, politically, maybe it was a little political heavy for me. Honestly, I don't know what it was. It doesn't matter. I don't need to dissect why I liked it least. I just liked it least. With that being said, it was still a 5-star book. When it comes to characters, Jim Butcher is an absolute master. He creates some of the most lovable characters of all time. Of course, I'm talking about Harry Dresden, but also who else? We have Murphy, who is awesome. I love her. We have Mouse, who is awesome. I love him. We have Thomas, who is hilarious. I love him. So anyways, I don't know what it is about Jim Butcher's writing that makes me so excited about these characters and excited and interested in the plot, but I don't know, he just has a gift, okay? I really like his writing style. I like his storytelling. I like his characters. What's not to like? I don't know. If I had to offer a piece of criticism, do I have one? Oh my God. I went into this video underprepared. I wasn't preparing to talk about criticisms, and obviously now I know why, because I don't think I have a criticism. Okay, wait, let me think. Certainly there's something that I did not enjoy about these books. I got nothing but good things to say about these books. Maybe sometimes, okay, if I'm really stretching, the thing is, Harry's character, part of the reason why he's so lovable is he's human. He's not perfect. There are some opportunities that this guy has. He has an opportunity to grow and to mature. He is funny. He says some funny things, but this dude's not immune to a beautiful woman. You know what I'm saying? He is a guy, okay? So, yeah, he has certain temptations that, are normal and natural and expected. But, you know, it's like you picture the hero in every other book and it's like, oh no, I'm above the female influence, blah, blah, blah. And Harry is what you would call a gentleman, but almost like to the point where it is detrimental, because he treats women as if they cannot fend for themselves, which is hilarious, because we have a really great character, a really great female character who can absolutely take care of herself. She doesn't need Harry. Actually, Harry kind of gets in her way. So anyways, it's interesting to see Harry's character develop, because not all women are helpless and need protection. And he almost values a woman's life more so than a man's. Okay, I say that not really meaning it. It's just Harry is more bent out of shape when it's a damsel in distress, when it's a female in distress. Whereas like anyone who dies, male or female, that sucks. Harry gets angry, but he's extra angry when it's a woman. You know what I'm saying? Blah, blah, blah. Have I said anything useful or valuable in this video? Okay, the most valuable thing I could tell you about this book and these books in the series, just read them, give them a shot. Okay, I don't talk about this enough because I'm not an audiobook listener, but I hear that the narrator does a phenomenal job. His name is James Masterns, something like that. He's the guy from Buffy the Vampire Slayer or something like that. But so many fans of the series has commented on, oh my God, the audiobooks are fantastic. I have yet to listen to them because listen, I don't listen to audiobooks. Okay, that's not how I like to enjoy stories. I'm not against them. For anybody who enjoys them, please go do it. I don't know. I've just been like an old school read it myself kind of person my entire life, and maybe I should branch out and try to experience more audiobooks, but I don't know. This is how I enjoy reading the best, so I'm just gonna, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. But I've heard so many readers say, oh my God, you have to check out the audiobook because it's fantastic. He doesn't just, this James guy, he doesn't narrate, he performs it, is what I've heard. So anyways, go check that out if that interests you. In the event that you have already read and hopefully loved Proven Guilty, I do have a spoiler review on my channel that you may find interesting. I'll drop the link below in the description box, and you know what, just go peruse my channel because I have content on all of these books. I also pump out summary videos for those of you trying to prepare for 12 months coming out January 20th, 2026, because wow, we have 17 books, not even including the short stories, where there's a lot going on that you're probably going to want to remember and recall before we get to 12 months. So we only have a couple months of waiting left. So that's super, super exciting. So if you want to revisit all these books, but you've run out of time, check out my summary videos. Maybe they will be helpful to you. I think that's all I have to say at lightning speed. I'm speaking really fast because I'm very, very excited about this series. I love this series. I love Jim Butcher's writing. I love Harry Dresden. I love not all of the characters. Okay, I actually hate some of the characters. He has some really good villains in here and some like light villains. What's the term I'm looking for? Just people I don't really like, but they're not necessarily villains. They're just people that I could use less of. Okay, for example, Morgan. If you know who Morgan is, dude, just die already. Okay, maybe that's harsh. Wait, who's a different person I could throw under the bus? Ooh, Rudolph. I don't like Rudolph. Although I don't know if I want him to die. I just don't want him to be around, you know? Anyways, one of those people where it's like, you know what, just go away. I don't need you to die, but like go away forever. I think that's all I have to say. Please read these books. Please read them. Please read Proven Guilty. Please read everything leading up to Proven Guilty. By the way, don't just jump into Proven Guilty. If for some reason you're watching this video and you haven't read the first 7, please do. It's critical that you do, because if you jump into Proven Guilty, there's so many callbacks to other moments that occurred previously in these other books, and you will be totally lost. You won't even know what things happened before, and you know what I'm saying. You just have to have the context. Otherwise, some of these things just won't hit as hard. Okay, that's all I have to say for now. I hope that you're reading something great. Leave me a comment. If you love Dresden Files, if you're reading Dresden Files, you got to talk to me. Let me know which one's your favorite. Let me know who your favorite character is, or just talk to me about anything. I love Dresden Files, and I could talk about Dresden Files all day long. So, thank you for watching this video. I appreciate your support. Don't forget to hit subscribe, and I hope to catch you in another video. Until next time, I will catch you on the flip side.